crowd because it's not every day we see a Lancelot. I don't think that this is a Lancelot meta, but it's YRG playing it, and we can see a Hylos. I used Hylos, by the way, when I was still learning MLBB.
Yeah, I mean, Hylos is interesting because that means that he's going to be thrown up into the EXP. Yeah, he's going to be thrown up into the EXP. This is going to be pretty tough because Cram cannot trade against Hylos in the earlier stages. He can wave, I mean, Cram can wave clear, but that's the end of it, right? Every interaction against this Hylos is a losing battle.
Here's the thing though, I had an opportunity to talk to Sanford about this Hylos in the EXP lane, and what he said was Hylos EXP is great against heroes that do not necessarily have too many escape mechanisms. So dash heavy heroes, but technically YRG, they do have a lot.
They do, but it's about the laning phase, right? That's important. Getting out of that laning phase and then eventually using your ult as a utility tool for the rest of your team.
So here we are as the Immortal Giants, ladies and gentlemen, once again challenge the reigning champs of Falcons Apbren. Is this going to be yet the same story for both these teams, or will we see a different outcome? Let's head over to game number 1 in this best of 3 series.
Welcome everybody, our very first game here. It's going to be Yoodo Red Giants on the blue side up against Falcons Apbren on the red with an immediate engage. And they will actually, Super Marco trying to test for this buff. Without their jungler, the information is valuable, but is it worthwhile?
I think for Super Marco, he wasn't able to clear one minion against Innocent, so that is very crucial for him. And yeah, we could see now for the emblems of the Quantum Charge for Sekai, so probably more on the faster pacing of the game, but same goes for the 3 players of Falcons Apbren. That could complement this glorious pathway from Flap Easy later on this game. So this is what you were talking about in terms of laning, that continuous damage from Flap Easy's Hylos.
Yeah, from the Law and Order, it's just, oh man.
It's Law and Order.
You can't do anything against it, right? And I think that Cram understands that, alright, I've learned my lesson, I really cannot trade against this Hylos. All I'm going to do is just fight for priority and give the necessary space for Sakai's to maybe invade, or at the very least take away the River Crabs. But in the meantime, right, we do want to see how FCAP is going to utilize the information. They did spot out Lancelot on the bottom side of the map, knowing that it's missing, and they could technically rotate top, because as of right now, the lane state for Super Marco isn't exactly going well. I mean, Innocent has a really, really nice freeze going on.
Yeah, and it's actually Innocent with a higher EXP, if I'm not mistaken, against Super Marco again because of that attempt from Falcons Apbren to take the purple buff. But right now, we can see the third objective being started by both teams.
Oh, Sakai steals it away, but this might just cost Cram his life, getting pushed by the Spear of Alpha, trying to go for a flank angle. First blood achieved by Flapteezy.
So okay, for Falcons Apbren now we can see the layering of the skills again. With those dispersion, a lot of order, and at the same time Spear of Alpha, there's no way for Cram to actually escape that threat from Falcons Apbren. And wow, interesting, it was actually Oquin that is somehow at a disadvantage in terms of EXP against Yum. So it's more of the effectivity rather of Falcons Apbren on rotating and taking objectives against YRG.
I mean, in terms of timings overall, Falcons Apbren, as soon as that turtle spawned, they were trying to blitz it down as quickly as possible. So it's pretty lucky that Sakai's managed to steal that away despite being at a significant man disadvantage. But now, Falcons Apbren, they've gotten some tempo, they've got priority over mid as well as the bottom side of the map. They're going for the big invade here. Ogwin getting the information onto 2 so far. Cram now here to back them up, and Falcons Apbren give the space.
Wow, that's a nice vision from Falcons Apbren, but even for Yoodo Red Giants, they didn't force any team fights against Falcons. They just wanted to have Sekai secure that orange buff, and it's a huge thing because as long as you not react on a specific, probably a play or a threat from any of the teams, then you're safe from that threat. So it's more of these teams prioritizing first on getting the objective, taking the jungle, and have the turtle or set up a play on the turtle.
Yep, and I think that Yoodo Red Giants don't mind waiting to scale. They don't need to make crazy moves happen. And here we go. The knockup from Wild Charge onto Cram's side. He's going to pull 3 members away so that the guys can actually find an opportunity to fight elsewhere. Primal Wrath has already been popped, still sustaining against 3 of these members. They don't have the burst to make this happen. Cram quickly flickers away. Onwards to buy some time. Earth Shatter to knock him up. Power of Nature and Glorious Pathway to help secure the kill. And Cram's like, I don't mind dying. Every second you stand here is another second wasted as we look onto the top side of the map. As Falcons Apbren looking for Turtle.
Yeah, they're starting this turtle, and I gotta say, this is not the effectivity against the layering of scales, crowd control here for Falcons Apbren, and for Cram, he didn't even try to escape that one because he knew that even if he runs against the Flap TZ, there's still the minion wave, there's still that slow, 4% slow with the high loss, and look at the damage against Yumes. The zone out from Ogwen and Flap TZ is just there.
Yeah, he's getting chunked out, but let's keep in mind, right? Now that we've had a full look at the compositions and how they want to play, I'm a little afraid that during these team fights, that Revitalize coming in from Flap TZ might just be the difference maker between the two. Because at the end of the day, it's not about finding these big executes, it's how can you chunk down your opponents. And yes, they don't have a Minotaur on their lineup, but with this Revitalize, it means that the whole team can walk together and still be healed up. So hopefully that is something that Yoodo Red Giants are aware of.
Yeah, that's true, because if they walk on that Glorious Pathway, there's the movement speed, but at the same time for Yoodo Red Giants, there's the slow. So they need something to complement that one. Cram the middle lane though.
Yeah, but Wild Charge is gonna knock Cram up even with the Primal Wrath. He just cannot move, and Yulip's trying to make the play of his own. Finds one with help of Stormy, looking for a second Yin Yang reaction, sucks in Yumson as well as Stormy, but that means that they're just gonna disengage. 2 flickers each from either side being utilized, while Innocent trying to take this tier 1 off top. Conceal from Owen. Few getting 1 hit. The rotation as Zaman Force has been dropped out. Innocent takes the damage, and he wants this kill more than anything else, but Few managing to proc one last time to keep himself alive.
That was close for Few, but it could have been a mistake for them because it's not advisable to poke against Innocent. He hasn't been stopped in terms of the laning. The goal is continuous, and it's really hard for Falcons Apbren to secure a kill against Innocent because the only crowd control that they have is going to be that Wild Charge and even the vacuums from Few. The Law of Order, yeah, but Innocent has the Purify, so as much as they want to kill him, it's gonna be hard. Sekai's bottom lane.
He's tried Spear of Alpha Thorn Rose to be able to dodge the initial damage from the sweep. Wild Charge as well, but he gets hit by the vacuum. Sekai using his ult and the Thorn Rose to buy some iframes. Look at this, he's buying as much time as possible while the rest of his team is going towards Turtle side, and Falcons Apbren do not miss the timing on this neutral objective thanks to Sekai's.
It's a buy time. It's a buy time here for YRG, and even though Sekai's was taken at the bottom lane, he has proven a lot against the Falcons Apbren. It was a good 3-second delay on taking that objective against Falcons Apbren, but still Falcons Apbren on the lead. 1.3k for this one. We could see now that for Super Marco, that is the endless battle. So the attributes will be very, very efficient later on. So there's the movement speed already for the Windtalker. We have the Flask for Yumes. Probably they're just waiting for another item from Yumes to go for that one big Minoan Fury.
Yeah, he wants to go for the one big Minoan Fury, but I think he needs to get tanked. Here comes the rotations from Falcons Apbren to stop Innocent. He hops over the wall, the Wild Charge knocks him back. Nature Barrier is good, but Yumes is just a little bit better. Motivational roll keeps him alive, and Crab flickers forward to find the Earth Shatter. Primal Wrath on towards Open side. His Flap TZ, he's trying to zone them off. Once the Minoan Fury is done, Stormy trying to zone them off as a second layer. Another wall. Sakai hops in. He wants it. He finds the minion wave. They're taking down Loyi, and they want a little bit more. The puncture doesn't kill Open. Sakai still trying. Even Retribution ain't gonna keep him down. Flap TZ does it once more. A single Revitalize to save his 2 lower members. What a game that we're seeing here today.
Oh my goodness. Again, we've said that it's kind of hard if you only have the Purify for the crowd control, but for Innocent, he waited for like 3 seconds before popping that Purify because he's seen that the Law and Order was used, Owen's Wild Charge was used, and then perfect timing for me to use the Purify, and then went in for that Zinger Vision, had the shield, and waited for the other players of Yoodo Red Giants. But for Falcons Apbren, they're kind of scary because they're just going places against Yoodo Red Giants. This is where when you mentioned that you have to be prepared on those brushes because if Falcons Apbren does the diversion play, they win business.
They mean big business as well.
True.
Oh goodness, this is rather surprising. I wasn't expecting them to survive with such low HP, but then again, revitalize, right? It's one of those battle spells that you don't see very often in professional play.
I think for the Revitalize, it's the perfect spell for a high loss, right? So yeah, it's really nice for them. He has the Dominance Eyes, we have the Thunder Belt for Cram, and okay, we only have the Glowing Wand as counter for the lifesteal here, or the total heal for Falcons Apbren. So they kind of need another item to shred that HP or the tankiness of Falcons Apbren so that they can win team fights. Probably around 10 minutes, 11 minutes for another item.
Most likely. I don't know, because then who is going to be the one who buys the anti-heal, right? I think Cram has an option to maybe get it, but I think there are other items that he might want to prioritize. Yums probably wants to get the Oracle first before considering picking up the Dom Eyes, so somebody has to make a sacrifice in their itemization at some point in time, and it might just be Cram. I mean, he's got the components for it, right? He can go either way with this.
Yeah, that's true. And also, if it's not advisable if it's gonna be innocent, because you want another item that is for the damage side, because later on the damage will be from him. So that's why he went in for the Holy Crystal first. So this is gonna be a long Lord team fight. Probably take up those spaces first before starting it. But here's the huge difference and huge advantage for Falcons Apbren. Kyle TZ is at level 15, while Sekais is at 13.
Yep, he is 2 levels down, but Falcons Apbren, they're doing a really good job at splitting up the members of SRG. They want them to overcommit here. They are holding it for as long as they can. We do see that Lancelot is currently chunked out for more than 50% of his HP, and now the blitz continues. Now we see Falcons Apbren actually getting into the middle of the mix here. Stormy does steal away the Lord without retribution, and the rest of the team start pushing through. It's because Alvin Force is already out, but now they're on the back foot as they're getting chased down by Super Marco, who wasn't part of the fight and came from a flank angle. Falcons Apbren fine too, but they still don't get the Lord.
Okay, Falcons Apbren, a miscommunication there on the timing of Galtiz's retribution. But if you're Yoodo Red Giants, I'd take it. It's a Lord. We have the advantage now on pushing other minions.
Oh my goodness, Sekais tries to go find the angle, but Fuse says, no, you're too close to your buddies. Yin-Yang reaction to put them out of their misery.
Okay, Falcons Apbren, they mean business now again with this Lu Yi, the crowd control. They forced for Yoodo Red Giants to be away on this Lord objective that they got. So things are pretty nice here for Falcons Apbren. They are 3k lead for this match. We have Owen at 105. Even Super Mark is slowly building up those items. Probably he already has the trinity of his itemization, and even for a few that is a glowing wand and enchanted talisman.
He's looking so very strong right now. FCAP's execution and decision making has been very nice. SRG, they've been on the back foot for a while here, but the gold lead hasn't extended more than 5,000. They want to protect this T2, but it looks like they have no means of getting in just yet.
Nice.
He's in the back line for now. He gets sucked in by the Yin-Yang reaction. He could jump away. Glorious Pathway is being activated as well. And Flap TZ and Super Marco going ham! Forcing the dominations is sent as Yums. Oh wait, the TP from behind as well. Nearly connecting onto 2, but they only find 1. Cram is now on the run. He has to use the Primal Wrath to keep himself alive. Gets busted down, and Zaman Force as well getting chunked out here as Stormy is the next to fall.
Falcons Apbren is just all over the place. Even if you using that diversion play in front of everyone from Yoodo Red Giants, and they're just doing damages against the YRG. So it's more of a faster pacing for them. 5k lead, and they don't want YRG to breathe in this type of setup. They have the Glorious Pathway. They can speed things up, and now they take this turret at the middle lane.
Oh, but Kyle all by himself doesn't take the TP. Still gonna stick around in YRG's jungle to clear up the rest of his creeps. At this point of time, I think that Innocent, he's finally starting to scale. He does have the Divine Glaive, and now he can start shredding through that MR. Few opting to go for a Magic Lantern.
Now, it's very nice that you've mentioned View, because we saw that the Sekais was actually targeting him. So for YRG, if ever Sekais will dive in again against you, it would be nice if there is going to be Innocent for that added damage. But yeah, looking at the this EXP graph. It's a juggle between these teams, but definitely it's still Falcons Apbren dictating this game because again of those diversion plays. Everyone is just ready to dive against the players of RRG. This is gonna be one crucial lord for both teams. You know, Alonso, there's a high chance for a steal again. They were able to do that, but it was with Stormy's Nightmare Spawn.
Oh, and that's why FCAP are taking the space. They're looking for Sakai's as of right now. They might opt to blitz it, knowing that SRG has to deal with the minion waves, but no, they're gonna take the fight. Cram was the target. Forcing him to flicker out is a good idea. Falcons Apbren get a free resource here. So that yin-yang reaction is causing a lot of problems for Yoodo Red Giants to stick together. Baptizi once again zoning them out as Ogun walks up with the conceal. Nature's Barrier trying to cut off two so far. Minoan's Fury is out, and that's going to be a clear signal for Falcons Apbren to now start this fight. Gloria's Pathway has been popped. They decide, no, let's back off here. We get a free Lord. Let's reset and do it all over again.
Oh wow, what a nice zone out from Ogun and Flapeezy at the time. They're just zoning out the players of YRG, even dealing damage against Sakai's. And here's the thing, for Falcons Apbren, after taking that Lord, they continued on stopping the possibility on taking that purple buff for Sakai's, but he was able to secure that one. Yeah, it's more of the timings now for Falcons Apbren, and there's a huge difference in terms of how they set up a play again for the Minotaur. It's one big Minoans here, right? For Falcons Apbren, they would just run past through the players of YRG and, hey, here's our target. We've seen him. We've located him. Let's go after him.
Yep, and I mean, they've been doing it really well.
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem that we're seeing right now is the fact that if you don't have a Trinity build, it's going to be really difficult to cut through these tanks, right? No on-hit max health damage, no way to do true damage as well. They lose a mid inhibitor as we see Falcons Apbren aggressively taking this space. Guys might try something, but here comes the wild charge on top of the Glorious Pathway as they try to peel backwards. The Minoan Fury hits onto all three of the back line. Dead! Super Marco! A bulletproof no more! Chain of Yooms for his life. The Lord is still cracking down on the bases. They're trying to break through, but the Dominator's descent says no more. We're done! This defense is clean, and Falcons Apbren forced to run with their tails between their legs. Sakai's, he goes in, lunges into two. One flap easy, saying no more zoning for you. 200 gold in the pocket.
Okay, so for YRG, it all started again with that nice Minoans here from Yooms. Sakai's was just doing those punctures against the players of Falcons Apbren. They might actually get this inhibitor turn at the middle lane because it's just open that could defend this one. This might be a one split push or one push for them.
It can't be. It can't be. Super Marco is coming back up, and even Few is coming too. Owen is going to die, losing out his immortality. He's trying to protect it. The pistol is under threat. They're almost there, and they crack open the base. SRG, I mean YRG, turned that around after an abysmal early mid-game. What a turnaround.
I wasn't prepared for this emotional moment. Yeah.
What was that?
They have this ask, if they have everything that could go for a one-way push, and they were able to do it. One good Minoans here, that's all they needed, and they won the game against Apbren, Falcons Apbren.
One mistake, one team fight was all it took for SRG, for the Yoodo Red Giants rather, to turn things completely around. And you can feel the energy from the audience right now as they are feeling this first victory for their team. What a game. That was intense. How?
That should not have been the case.
That's illegal.
That literally is
feels
illegal.
illegal.
They literally kicked down the door and said, you know what, we're going to take all of your stuff. We're going to take the lease to your house in front of your face, in front of the cameras. I can't believe it.
Chantel's not having it.
Yeah.
She's not having it.
But when I've seen that ultimate used by the Sask, I knew that they will go for that push.
Yeah.
I know that they will force that win.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it was Super Marco first, right? That was available for the defense, and Roger doesn't have that kit to clear a minion wave, even kill a spawn.
Here's the thing, even though he doesn't have the kit to clear a minion wave, it's not like he had a full wave to clear. It was literally one siege minion, and what they did was incredible. They blocked the shot, they made sure that it would take them their basic auto attacks to get rid of it, and by the time the rest of the members were coming out, it was already too late.
Remarkable, just remarkable stuff. 16 minutes, and for the most part, it was FCAP that was controlling the pace and the tempo. Yoodo Red Giants, man, they are a team that you can never count out at any point of the game. That was FCAP's Lord push, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. And I kind of feel like for YRG, they know when and where to win a team fight, right? It's as if during that Minoan series from Yooms, he baited the players of FCAP to be under the turret.
Yeah, I'm looking at the item builds and I'm noticing that Stormy is taking advantage of the new patch right now, building a Feather of Heaven, and not only that, decides to go for a Lightning Truncheon, not very common for Zask players.
I haven't seen Lightning Truncheon for a very long time for some of the mages, but it's more of probably supplementing what's needed during a team fight because, again, since with the change of meta, the players now are focusing on what does our hero composition needs for every team fight. Hence, there's this continuity on YRG's farming and even laning. Even Innocent wasn't really stopped, even though FCAP was winning the team fights, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, he wasn't being stopped in the middle of the team fights, but I think more so, it's for the situation of if we are expected to fight in the glorious pathway, we are at a huge disadvantage. It's very difficult for us to take space. So we're going to back up ever so slightly, but then when the opportunity presents itself, that Lightning Truncheon becomes really, really powerful. Just Mind Flay, start running at your opponents at top speed.
I agree. And this was one of the make or break moments, right? Because this Hylos pick was brought in as a final pick.
Yeah.
And it was so detrimental to the entirety of the game up until the point where they lost that team fight when they wanted to go for the push.
Yeah, I think, honestly, we can talk a little bit more about that during the highlights itself because I'm curious to see what each individual was trying to decide. Like, what was their intent there? Were they all trying to go for the base, or were they like, okay, Kyle, you do that, and we'll hold them back?
Yeah, now since this is what we're seeing for the gold.
Oh man!
And the XP graph, look at that change after that team fight. It was just Falcons Apbren continuously getting all the EXP and even the gold. It just so happened that there were moments wherein it was Yoodo Red Giants being able to get a piece of that EXP, so that it's more on the almost close to the game equilibrium, right?
Yeah. I mean, if this game had dragged on a little bit longer, then we would see the gold and EXP rise into their side. But this is the first time we look at a graph and it's like, wow, it's going all the way down for our favorite team. And then the victories are the opposing side.
That's what I like to call a mountain cabin with a lake view.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Great answer.
It's not the best of scenarios for the team that has the mountain cabin. Catch my drift.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Because this was brutal, right? Because Falcons Apbren, again, they were dominating. We saw on the golden EXP graph, that it was hinting towards them for the most part of the game until that very last moment. And we do have to give the MVP over, however, to Innocent. How do you think that he was able to impact this entire game?
Well, definitely that KDA 1-0-3 knows that's it all, considering that Falcons Apbren was really efficient in their rotation. Says a lot how he did his positioning in a team fight, how he placed himself on that laning phase. So he just waited for that perfect timing for YRG to just deal damage against them, or deal damage against... Oh, here.
Here we go. This is the one that we wanted to see, right? We do see that Ogwin, he flickers in with the wild charge just to get the knockup, but then you notice that in the back line, right, Yooms has already zoned off 3, and that's when the big split happened. And I think only Kyle realized that this was an end angle, and everybody else was just getting held back.
Oh, they even used the ultimate so that it will take up the damage. It will face the Lord up front. And they used, again, the ultimate just to focus on the turret.
That's such a great use of, a great use, but I personally think it's more of great abuse of the interaction, man.
We could see that the fans are really happy.
That's actually Stormy's family.
Yes,
Oh.
it is. They were there.
We met them in Riyadh.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I remember him.
What a very supportive family.
Extremely. I
From
love
Riyadh
it.
to their own country.
Yeah.
Of course.
Great game. What a great game to start things off for today, right?
It was super great that almost my headset was falling from my.
Your hair's a little messy as
Yeah.
well.
I was just doing this.
Yes. But again, I knew it, right? I knew that this would be one of the best matches that we would have here at SPS. Again, I couldn't sleep last night dreaming about this, dreaming of their reunion for both of these teams, and what a game once again. And man, this is YRG at match point again,
Yeah.
right? Group stage 2-0. There is still a possibility that the Yoodo Red Giants could go 2-0 once again, putting Falcons Apbren in the lower bracket.
So there. In case, why
It's okay.
wins, yeah.
The flashback.
It's just a possibility.
But with a possibility also that YRG can do a comeback like that, there's a high chance that they can sweep Falcons Apbren because their decision making is on point. It's as if they haven't felt that FCAP was on the lead, right?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think for like any of the netizens out there who's gonna be like, oh, they didn't watch the games at all, but they look at the results, they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, YRG, so good. They absolutely destroyed FCAP. But then they don't understand how narrow the margins are, and that's why they're so. But watching both of these teams in a best of 7 and even in a best of 3, some really exciting stuff.
It's like down to the pixels, man.
It really is
It's
down to
the pixels, guys. But of course, before we get into our second match of the day, to see the results, whether or not this will be forced into a game number 3 by Falcons Apbren, we are going to go on a short break, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.